There is a video currently circulating in the Twitter sphere of Arch Manning dropping back in the indoor complex in Austin, Texas, dropping an absolute dime to one of his teammates. And that just kicked the hornet's nest in terms of hype and excitement around Arch Manning being inside the program at Texas. And it's well-deserved. Arch Manning, one of the most talented quarterbacks we've seen in this 2022 class, that we've seen, honestly, over several classes. He's got a ton of ability, a ton of upside, a ton of potential. His last name probably doesn't hurt that hype either. But I think we need to have a very candid conversation about what you should expect from Arch Manning in 2023. Because you already see people jumping in the hot take pool and saying he's going to start, he's going to be our guy by game, whatever, and he's going to lead us to a national championship. I'm here for the juice. Trust me, if you want someone to lead the juice train, I'm one of the first people volunteering to be the conductor. But for 2023, I think the expectations should be for Arch Manning just to develop. The way that I understand it, according to what Vince Young said when he went on ESPN, was the plan, again, this is per Vince Young, is to have Arch Manning redshirt. Now, there's nothing here on paper that would deter me from believing that's true. But when I say development, think about what you go to college for. And not just football. I'm saying whether you want to be in finance, whether you want to be in music, whatever you want to be in, you go to college to better prepare yourself for whatever the professional level of that looks like. That's why Arch Manning in the Manning camp, Peyton, Eli, that's why the Manning camp, along with Arch, decided on Texas. They felt like Texas and Steve Sarkisian gave them the best chance to prepare for the next level. Makes tons of sense to me. So that's, again, harping on the fact that 2023, in my opinion, should be a development year. And I don't believe that Arch lacks any competitive drive, but this is a strategical play. If he had wanted to play year one, if that was what he was after, if that was the main goal, was to start as a true freshman, he could have gone other places that had a less established quarterback situation. Keep in mind, Georgia, Stetson Bennett's gone to the NFL. There's going to be a quarterback battle. Alabama, Bryce Young's gone to the NFL. There's going to be a quarterback duel. So he could have gone there and thrown his hat in the ring. Instead, he chose a place like Texas that has a quarterback like Quinn Ewers. And again, he committed before the 2022 season. So this is when the Quinn Ewers hype was still at its most healthy. He chose Texas, knowing Quinn Ewers is the guy this year and likely will be the guy next year. That was never a secret. I also want to make sure I say this. For everybody saying we want Arch now, we want him to start game one. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because I would just say there is such a thing as playing too early. If you play too early, there is the potential to hurt your confidence, to develop bad habits, and to be overwhelmed and just have a negative relationship, quite frankly, with the playing field. Now, I don't want to say that he's going to get the yips or something crazy like that, but think about it this way. If you were to get thrown into an Olympic pool before you had learned how to swim, you would then probably have a negative relationship with the water, with the pool. You would probably have some bad habits. You probably wouldn't know how to swim correctly. You would just fight for survival. That's the potential of what could happen if you play too early. I'm not saying that's the case for Arch, but I'm saying you minimize that kind of risk by allowing him to develop, by allowing him to sit behind Quinn Ewers for a year, to learn the system, to get in the college weight room, to get in the college playbook. Sometimes waiting is the best thing for a young quarterback. If you're not yet subscribed, would love to have you out at the party. Content for you all year round. College football is a year-round sport, to be 100% honest with you, and we're very fortunate and blessed to be able to cover it accordingly on this program. We're live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Come lock in with us for our live show as well. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JD Piquel. Stay up with everything we're doing here. This is y'all's show. Want to hear from you. Here's the other piece that I think we need to mention. If the plan goes how I anticipate it going. The plan being Arch Manning gets to develop and sit in year one. There's going to be a lot of folks that come out of the woodwork and say, Arch isn't really that good. We told you. We've been banging this drum for a while. We told you Arch Manning isn't all that. It's just his last name. It's all hype. To those people, I think you need to do your best to just tune them out. Because they're going to say, well, he can't start over Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers had his struggles last year. Y'all, if Arch Manning is good enough for Kirby Smart to want him to play at his program, for Nick Saban to want him to play at his program, I promise you he's legit. I promise you it's not just a last name kind of hype. Arch Manning is legitimately a 5-star prospect. Tons of ability, tons of talent, tons of potential. To not play as a true freshman does not say anything about how good he is. Again, I wholeheartedly believe this was always the plan. And Texas, as much as Arch Manning, I believe, loves Austin and loves the University of Texas, the plan is to get to the NFL. They're playing the long game here. And the long game, in my mind, looks like sitting the first year. So don't let the whole, he's a 3-star or he's not really that good, don't let that crowd get into your psyche. If everything goes right, you shouldn't see any Arch Manning this year, unless he's playing garbage time or unless he's playing early in the season, that is, against lesser competition because your team's up 50-0 and Quinn Ewers is holding a Gatorade bottle and a clipboard. That should be the reality. If they're playing meaningful football and Arch Manning is playing for you, something has gone wrong in terms of Quinn Ewers has had a really bad year or Quinn Ewers has gone down. You don't want either of those to be the case. So what can you learn from 2023? What 2023 expectations should you have for Arch? Couple of avenues that you can learn about Arch if he's not on the field. In-game action. Press conferences, depth chart, message boards. Inside Texas, our Texas On 3 site, cover it better than anybody in the industry. They do a phenomenal job. Make sure you have a membership there. Stay up with all the buzz around the program, especially Arch Manning. And here's why I say that. Those are folks that are going to be closer to what's going on in Austin. They're going to tell you, hey, here's what we're hearing about Arch. Here's what we're hearing and seeing at practice. Here's how he looks from our vantage point. The press conferences, I think, are crucial because you're going to hear from different coaches and players. They're going to be asked about Arch Manning, and pay attention to what they say. I anticipate they'll say things like this. Arch has been a great teammate. He's attacked the process. He's preparing like a pro. He's preparing like he's going to play. We're really pleased with Arch and his development. We're pleased with his development. That's going to be the kind of things I believe you hear. And if you don't, then we'll come back here and we'll have another conversation. But here's the deal. Men lie, women lie. Depth charts don't lie. I would fully anticipate Arch Manning to have a real shot to be that backup role for Quinn Ewers. And if he is in that backup role, I think he's right in the sweet spot. And if he's in that backup role, that means he has the belief, not just from a lip service perspective, he has the belief from a coaching staff that if Quinn Ewers goes down, Arch Manning, the true freshman, gives us the best chance to win football games going forward. So keep an eye on that. Depth charts, message boards, press conferences, all sort of reading between the lines of the Arch Manning 2023 experience. This year should not be the year that he plays, but this is still a year where you can learn a lot about him and his maturation at the college level. Again, inside Texas, On 3 Texas site, they do the best job out of anybody out there. So make sure you got a membership there. I'm excited, though. Anytime your last name is Manning, there is a ton of optimism and expectations and hype for good reason. But still, we're going to get to see this kid play a college football game, I believe, in the not too distant future. But in 2023, let the kid develop. Let him redshirt. Let him grow physically. Let him grow in the playbook. Let him figure out college life and how to keep track of an ID. Don't let the 3-star crowd or the he's not that good crowd get to your head. He shouldn't be playing this year. Him not playing this year has no reflection on his ability. Keep an eye on the clues, the context clues, the depth charts, the press conferences, the message boards. Those will all give you insight as to how it's going behind closed doors. But as always, we got you locked right here. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you to all the Texas fans that have joined us this season. Y'all have done an amazing job helping build this community that we got right here, and it is the people's program. Everything that you know and love about this beautiful sport, from tailgating to transfer portal to recruiting to the games being played, we got you covered, all right? Nick Brake, Lifting Heavy, this is your show. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.